feeling very stuck and stagnant and kind of lost and confused, as one does, throughout life when we're going through these, like, pivotal times. And I was on a walk, and I was talking to my higher self, and she was like, hey, we are still working through some controlling behaviors, okay, of self. And, oftentimes we build resentment against these things in our life because we feel very stuck and constricted. And as an Aquarius, that is like a no-no for me. So I'm feeling like a boxed in. And she was like, hey, I know that you love your coaching business, spiritual business, but what if we're not doing that in a year? What if there's something that will really be open and expansive and fun and magical and whimsical that comes our way, an opportunity, but we are not willing to let go, okay? We need to be permeable with everything in life because we never know when there's something that's even more in alignment with us in our path. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what that would be. And that sometimes, is scary, thinking about the unknown, or thinking like, well, I've been doing this for so long, all these things. And not that, it wouldn't be wasting time and energy, because I've been absolutely in love with this for so long, and met so many beautiful people, all these wonderful things in my life, okay? Then, later on in the day, I had a energy healing session with my friend Ashley, who's absolutely incredible, amazing, stellar, beautiful being of light. I will tag her below. Go check her out, give her a follow, check out her services, because it really shifted things for me working with her. And she was telling me one of the things is that I have this really deep core wound of being afraid of making mistakes in life, basically getting myself on the wrong timeline. And I was like, yeah. I said I'm very calculated with the movements that I make. I think about things a lot. I've got really good at not staying in indecisive land, like just trying new things constantly, but it's in a very like parameter type of way, if that makes sense. And so it's still not as open and free as it could be. And when we were diving into my field, we found one of my inner children, and she looked at me, my inner child back at me, and said, I can't go back there. And I said, where is there? And she showed me in the past with the trauma, the PTSD, the darkness, the void, the depression, the anxiety. And I said, girl, we're not going back there. I said, there's literally no way we can. We're a completely different person on a quantum cellular level. We have so many tools and resources and support. We're in a whole new reality. Okay? There's literally no way that we could, because we're just fundamentally a whole different person now. And that's all well and good for her to hear, but she wasn't believing that. And I said, okay, I get that timeline of hardships and challenges and sadness feels very real to you because it's closer to your experience as a child. Okay, it's a timeline that she actually lived and feels like there's a propensity for her to go back. And I said, hey, listen. And I had her close her eyes, and I closed my eyes, and we were both in the dark. And I said, I will always find you. It doesn't matter what timeline we get on, what level of darkness we are in, depression. It doesn't matter what is happening in our life. I will always find you. And I had this lantern that I was holding, kind of like the Hermit Tarot card. And I said, you remember all those times when we were a child and a teen, and we were just really going through it, and you heard this internal voice that said, hey, just keep going. Just keep going another day, and it's going to work out. We're going to get to where we're meant to go. Just keep going, girl. And I said, that was me. Right now, talking to you back there. Okay, as your higher self. And I was explaining, over here, we're in so much magic and fun and whimsy, and it's great. It's a vibe, okay? And you listened to me, and you just kept going and kept going and kept going. I said, that's me. I was always finding you, no matter where you were at. I said, there's a higher self past me right now that's doing that for me. Okay, she's like, girl, it doesn't matter what timeline we get on, we're going to get to where we're meant to be going, because that's who we are as a core fundamental person. I have always been super motivated and dedicated, and I know there's always more abundance and magic and whimsy and fun and laughter and love. Like, there's always more of that you can experience, and that is what has kept me going through life's growth moments. We'll call them. Okay. And I said, whatever timeline that we decide to go down, we're always going to be ultimately pointed towards our destiny. There are these things that we really, I wouldn't even say want, these things that we will have in our lifetime. Because I know I'm going to get myself there. Okay, so if we go down timeline A or B or C or D, it doesn't matter, because it's all leading to the same place, girl. Okay, it just might look a little bit different the ways that we go about it, and that's dependent on listening to our intuition and letting go of control and having more fun along the way, along the journey, and being okay with not knowing what's going on 24/7 and leaving it open for surprises in life. And so when I talked to her in that perspective, she was like, oh, okay, I do feel safe. I feel seen. I feel heard. I feel like even if I did get back on that old timeline of the void, that this current Sage would be right there to come get me, like she always has in the past. And that made me feel really confident about my higher self, because I feel like right now, as I'm going through some quantum jumping, that I'm kind of in that void space, right? Not the same level as my inner children were. But I was like, oh yeah, she's right here. She's making sure we're getting towards that timeline that we're ultimately gonna get to, and I don't need to figure out the hows and the whens and the whys all the time. So I wanted to share this in case your inner children needed to hear this as well, because this is representative of you too on the self-awareness journey of, hey, inner children and teens, just keep going. I got you. It's so much better over here, and it's just going to keep on getting better and better and better and better. That's you right now talking to them in the past. They can hear you. Okay, you're what has been keeping them motivated and keeping them going. Okay? So let me know in the comments if this resonated, if it brought you some healing, if you have any questions, and again, I hope it helped bring some liberation to your inner children. And I love you, and I hope you have a very magical day.